OTP Group, open innovation means stepping into collective intelligence, stepping out of our comfort zone and accelerating the power of innovation by multiplying the available resources. It also helps us to abandon our silo mentality and adopt a truly distributed, participatory and decentralized setup for innovation. More specifically, collaboration with startups enables us to identify the applicability of the recent technologies in ways that benefit our customers the most. So they help us to bring in new perspectives, and we believe that corporate startup collaboration, if it's done well, can lead to unfair advantage by mixing the best of both worlds.
OTP has been always keeping pace with digital transformation in the world. We try to do that and implement the most promising technologies in order to improve our internal efficiency, as well as, more importantly, improve the customer service. As a matter of fact, innovation is one of the 4 pillars of our group strategy beyond stability, profitability, and growth. We understand that by focusing only inside, we would lose a huge potential for innovation. This is exactly the reason why we have established one of our flagship open innovation programs called OTP Startup Partnership Program. Since 2017, we have screened over 1,300 startups and conducted pilots with more than 30 of them. Besides this, OTP Group has established its corporate venture capital arm called Portfolion in order to invest into promising digital and fintech startups as well as medium-sized enterprises. Through its 5 funds, Portfolion has invested over 100 million euros into promising innovation projects. We also tried ourselves in the startup world by establishing 2 spin-offs of our own. The first one, a simple mobile application, was launched in 2014, and it pioneered mobile payments in the Hungarian market. By aggregating more than 10 different services, such as payment for parking or ordering food, it has collected over 1.2 million customers, which means that 1 in 6 Hungarian mobile phones the application is installed. Simple Payment also provides digital payment services for merchants, and it is currently the leading provider in the Hungarian market. In 2017, we launched our second startup called eBiz, which addresses the needs of the SME sector in Hungary. eBiz is a digital financial assistant offering billing, tracking finances, and keeping in touch with the accountant of the companies. Beyond these, we regularly partner with case study competitions and support hackathons, and we do this in order to harness the brainpower of the younger generations. Before the creation of OTP Lab, open innovation initiatives were more sporadic and ad hoc in the group. One of the key driving factors behind the management decisions to establish OTP Lab was its commitment to put dedicated effort and attention to open innovation. Since 2017, OTP Startup Partnership Program and other open innovation initiatives are coordinated by OTP Lab. Based on our mission, our goal is to maintain and improve the competitive advantage of the group. We do this by equipping our colleagues with the relevant tools, information, and resources, and by this making them the center and engine of the innovation. We also put special emphasis on group-level knowledge sharing. For instance, we circulate a bi-weekly innovation newsletter, and we also organize flagship events such as the selection days or the demo days of the startup program, which attracted last May more than 1,100 followers.
In order to demonstrate the value of open innovation initiatives to the top management, hard facts are essential. For this reason, we decided to adopt a data-driven approach to innovation. And taking the example of OTP Startup Partner Program, we defined quantifiable KPIs for each step of the program. During the setup phase, we measure how many business units submitted needs for the program and also the total number of approved innovation needs. When we achieve the scouting and selection period, We are focused on the quality and relevance of the applicant pool. So among others, we measure how many relevant applications we received for each topic. During the pilot period, we set up pilot-specific KPIs for each project, plus we also measure the total number of pilots that have been carried out according to the original pilot specification, and we also put together a business case to demonstrate the long-term business potential of these collaborations. And during the rollout phase, we are focused at smoothing the transition from the pilot phase to the live implementation. So we measure the overall time required for these implementations. However, we also know that humans are not data processing machines, so these KPIs and metrics are not sufficient to predict the success of innovation initiatives. For this reason, we are also focused on interpersonal aspects and factors. So we basically dedicate time to getting to know the teams of our potential startup partners, and we also check the chemistry between the startuppers and the internal experts that are going to work on the pilot projects together to make sure that they can thrive and deliver together. Some may call the collaboration between corporates and startups an ambitious attempt at turning David and Goliath into best buddies, and there are definitely many challenges to make it happen. However, we think that we learned a lot since our first experiments with open innovation, and we did this by ensuring that the holy trinity of project sponsorship is in place, so there is interest, accountability, and budget for all the pilot projects that we do. And we also ensure that we eliminate the friction in the process, starting from the identification of the innovation needs until the live implementations. And here we are focused on another holy trinity, our scout, pilot, and rollout approach. And during these three steps, the rollout phase is the one where we are currently focusing most of our optimization efforts. So this is the phase when the startups have to go through the full-scale internal screening and approval process of the banking group, and more significant human and financial resources are allocated to these projects. And we want to make sure that the appropriate support mechanisms are in place to keep the momentum that we gained during the pilot phase. So to give you a telling example about what we want to achieve, we want to transition from a honeymoon-like situation filled with excitement to a stable marriage based on mutual trust and respect. And by creating this environment, we can make sure that we can manage better the changing business priorities, and we can keep on track the already started innovation projects. And it's increasingly important in the current turbulent climate. We identify our focus areas for our innovation activities based on a consultative approach. On the one hand, the OTP Lab team constantly monitors the latest technologies, and we report our findings to the business units in the form of newsletters, white papers, and also easy-to-digest trend reports. Besides that, we organize a series of workshops with the business units on a group level to make sure that we identify their most pressing needs and the technologies that they want to leverage the most. Based on this process, we identified 4 innovation priorities for us. First of all, we examined the use of advanced data analytics solutions, such as artificial intelligence or machine learning-based business intelligence tools. Then we also want to improve our customer servicing methods based on the use of biometrics, AI, or automation. We also want to tap into the power of AI and robotic process automation for internal efficiency enhancement. And when it comes to product innovations, we want to move from products to ecosystems by enriching our core financial offering with additional value-added services. And more recently, we are also examining how the distributed ledger technology can be channeled into these previously mentioned priorities.
We would like to thank MinderBridge and the International Chamber of Commerce for underlying the importance of startup-corporate partnership through the Corporate Startup Stars Award. It is an honor to be nominated as one of the leading role of open innovation. Thank you.